Sony's first-party AAA game was pulled just 11 days after release. What did Star Strike do? 8 years of development, $300 million investment, and it lasted only 11 days. How do you fail as spectacularly as Star Strike? What's up, gamers? At the start of today's video, I want to ask you a question. There's a game that lost only a few hundred online players a week after launch. Can you guess which game it is? 3, 2, 1, time's up. The answer is neither Black Myth, Wukong, Elden Ring, nor last year's TGA Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. It's Star Strike. What is Star Strike? This game peaked at 697 online players after launch, and just 11 days later, it announced its shutdown. In a way, it did lose only a few hundred players in a week. But in today's gaming industry, many games have poor starts. What makes Star Strike so special that it's worth talking about? The dismal performance of Star Strike might make you think it's from an unknown developer, but it's actually from Sony's Firewalk studio. This means Star Strike is on par with God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us, and Spider-Man, all first-party PlayStation titles. Given the scarcity of Sony's first-party games this year, with Helldivers 2 carrying the first half, Star Strike was highly anticipated. Plus, it's a standard AAA game, developed over 8 years with a $300 million budget. As for its performance post-release, let's not even go there. From a business perspective, it's hard for an AAA game to achieve such honors. High investment usually guarantees high quality. Even if the final experience isn't on par with top-tier games, like God of War, it should at least be above average. Not selling only 25,000 copies with peak online players not even surpassing The Lord of the Rings, Gollum. So, what went wrong with Star Strike? Star Strike chose a competitive FPS mode with team cooperation and hero switching, similar to Overwatch. This might have been popular 7-8 years ago, but come on, it's 2024. Even Overwatch is struggling. How can Star Strike break through with such a similar gameplay? The game mimics Overwatch in style and gameplay, but many design details are confusing. This makes the decent visuals unable to cover the negative feedback from gameplay, making the overall experience inferior to Overwatch. First, the maps are huge, giving a Destiny 2 vibe, but without the character mobility of Destiny 2. Excessive useless space means players often have to run for tens of seconds to reach the combat area after respawning, breaking the game's pace, which contradicts the fast and thrilling nature of shooting games. Also, the long TTK and reliance on voice communication for team coordination make solo players have a poor experience, forcing them to play the official way. Secondly, and most importantly, players get in-game bonuses after switching heroes every time, and they need to choose different heroes. This design is fatal for a team-based shooter. Imagine choosing a specific hero for the team, giving up the bonus, or using unfamiliar heroes for the bonus, sacrificing team coordination. Both choices feel awkward. This self-contradictory design forces players to master various heroes, which is impossible for PvP game players. This kills any potential for future esports development. Oh right, the game is already pulled, so no need to think about the future. Then there's the price. In today's era of free-to-play games with in-game purchases, Star Strike is priced at $40, directly competing with Helldivers 2. This seems overly confident. The reason is simple. Helldivers 2 is PvE focused with a successful predecessor, while Star Strike is a new PvP. And Star Strike has almost no hit or damage sound effects, making it a half-finished product. In short, the $40 price tag makes no sense. Of course, the above issues aren't the core reasons for the game's commercial failure. Games like Cyberpunk 2077 and Battlefield 2042 also faced many problems at launch but didn't get pulled within 2 weeks. The diverse project concept is the main culprit for Star Strike's lack of interest. I have to say, Star Strike is the first game I've seen in my years of gaming that labels heroes' genders in the selection screen: he, she, non-binary, undecided. I'm not here to debate its correctness or disrespect these minorities. But what does this have to do with the game? Why is this the game's biggest selling point? Can it really be a selling point? Will the target audience buy it? More importantly, the character design isn't for aesthetics but seems to aim for ugliness. Well, I won't comment much here. You can compare the images yourself. In short, Star Strike isn't a game for the masses, nor one that can change public aesthetics. If Sony thought so, the poor start has already given them a wake-up call. Besides the increasing diversity controversy from God of War 5 to Star Strike, Sony is also exposing its shortcomings in developing service games. Will Sony's future games flop? Let's wait and see.